Hola, I'm Enrique from Engineer Art, and here we are. I have some topics I want to talk about regarding art commission prices, and I have not done any art commissions per se. I'm hoping to start, and I'm making this video because I'm an idiot and I'm doing it before I have any experience whatsoever. But I have done some research, and I wouldn't say summarized, but I have narrowed down the most important aspects that I feel are relevant to these sort of endeavor. And hopefully to get the word out and find people that might be interested. So don't forget to check my channel and my art. But if you want a cartoonized version of your characters or, real people. So the first thing to take into account is the size. So sizes. I normally work with A3. I try to work with the biggest size, even A2, and a bigger resolution. Like they recommend you use 100 dpi. Like if you go into. I have here all the sizes that I work with. I mostly work with poster size print, which is 11 by 17, 300 dpi. I would also tend to work with more than 300 dpi or a bigger size. I actually have here big poster size A2, which if I go super crazy, I might work on this. I mostly will work on this if I'm going to do a banner, because I'm going to go to Stockholm's Artist Alley. I rented a table and I will be there. Well, I actually rented it a couple of years ago, but because of COVID, the Artist Alley has been postponed. If it takes place this November, I will be also putting some videos about that. Why was I talking about that? Anyways, sizes. Second thing is character posing. So in this case, I've seen that many people recommend three sizes, three layouts in general. So we have the bust, or I've seen it called portrait also. And it is normally chest up or like waist up. Some of them are waist up or chest up. The other one is half body, which is normally knees up or waist up. I've seen also both options. I don't know which ones. I guess it will depend. I won't be too picky about that. I should be picky about that. The reason why I think they charge more, not only because you're drawing more of the character, but because the whole posing is very hard to nail. Like me, for instance, it would take me a shorter time for me to sketch from knees up even than to sketch an entire body.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And last one is full body, so self-explanatory, I guess. Then we go to the. I don't have a screen for that, but there's a number of characters. It's self-explanatory. There's more than one, obviously. It will take more time because it will be more than one character to color in. And also the types of characters. At least I personally, it's harder for me to get creatures right. So I have that, I would charge more for creatures than for people or for human-like aliens. So that's a personal thing of mine. I haven't worked that much with animals. Maybe dogs mostly, and horses. I've drawn some horses too. Anyways, carry on. Complexity of the scene. These are kind of personal. Some of these are not like the most you will see, but these could be variables that you can use to charge art commissions that I think are beyond. Because when it comes to digital art, when it comes to materials, you don't really, and we'll talk about that later, but you don't really need to charge for materials. Sure, your tablet would cost a certain amount of money, and a laptop if you need it, electricity. If you want to charge for electricity, sure. But it would be mostly time, so we'll go through that later. Complexity of the scene is, I love doing action scenes. I would call action scenes like dynamic scenes of something happening, a character engaged on something. These that are on the screen right now, I wouldn't call them action scenes, because they're mostly posing. But action scenes would be, if they want gravel or anything flying around or bullets, or if I have to use motion blur, it's an action scene, for instance. Then that'll be one category. Then we have basic portrait, which is basically we can see here. But these include, this is the most basic one, which will be the cheapest one, because there will be no background whatsoever. I wouldn't say I hate doing backgrounds, but they are not the funnest to make, because in the end, you cannot take away from the focus of the drawing, so it's always blurred or it's always less detailed. You can still use, Gaussian blur in Photoshop, you have Photoshop or any other program, but today I think it's going to have those kind of effects, like lens flares and stuff. And the last one will be the detailed background. It will be portrait, but it will be with a background that's more elaborate. Then I have here another one, which is copyrighted and original characters. If it's copyrighted characters, you could face legal issues if you sell too much. But that's still something that for me is really unknown, and for me it's a very, I don't know what to think, because I have no idea. It is reproducing art, and I know it's not good But I've seen all these artists selling art, artist alleys and all that, and there is legal issues behind copyrighted characters, and you could get into trouble. So I'm not sure about that. I should research more, especially if facing the whole artist alley. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. Copyrighted and original characters. Which one I charge more for? I have no idea. I mean, I wrote this a couple of days ago after watching, I don't remember which video, but I decided to charge more for copyrighted than original characters. Mostly because if a client asks for an original character, you don't have to face any legal issues unless he has copyrighted them, which would make him copyrighted. Okay, carry on. We also have the complexity of the design. I haven't done a drawing for this yet, but I have a small little drawing I should show you so you know that I did the actual drawings. Oh, you can't see it. Anyways. I mean, I can sketch it real quick. Yeah, let's go sketch it real quick. Let's see how it looks. Exactly. Character design wise, complexity is important, and of course, the more details, the more you obviously should charge. Let's carry on, move on. Level of post-production. It is correlated with the complexity of the scene. If they request detailed rendering, or if they, because things like motion blur, things like focus, like Gaussian blur, which is unfocusing the background. At least in my opinion, that's only like a second. But nailing an action scene with like motion blur. They also, that's the other thing I wrote down. I draw cartoony characters, and sometimes you can either render them with like simple shade. The one commonly used in animation, where there are not that many shades of it. I can actually show you guys. I'm gonna make a green ball. These are the two kind of renderings. I'm actually going to use this. It has to be like, you know, super light. It can also be darker. Depends on how contrasty you want it. But most of the time you'll be checking. You'll be checking with the client, and you know. The other things are whether it is a digital file or print. If it's a print, you should obviously charge for the shipping costs and the printing costs and anything else. But if it's a digital file, yeah, just a high resolution file. And last but not least is the social media presence. Sometimes some clients will ask you to do private commission, not only because it might be not safe for work, but because it might be original characters that they don't want for you to post on your social media. On my DeviantArt, I have a gallery that's for commissions that I've done unpaid, but that I was glad to make because they were friends and family. Also because it was special events, you know, weddings and such. And because I was trying to get the word out. It did attract some clients, so I do recommend you do that. And that's it. That's all my tips. I have not started selling art commissions yet. Yeah, I hope you have a good journey to the art commissions whole endeavor. Wish you the best, and if I find any other tips that I think are important, I will let you guys know. So see you guys, and stay tuned for when I start the Artist Alley. Check out my channel and check out all my portfolios or social media. Support is always appreciated. Anyways.